everyone. Hope you're having a great day. Today, we're going to talk about how to build value the right way. And I guess what I would call like secrets that feel like they shouldn't be secrets, but not very many people know about the different thought processes that we need to have if we really want to build value. Whenever we talk about like making sales for products and we ask people what's hard for them, we hear a few things, right? People are not interested. It feels like I have to convince them or be pushy. They just don't get it. They need to think about it. How much information is the right amount of information? And all of these come to this idea that we need to really build value for any product, right? Because the value needs to be higher than the cost. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw here for a second. And so this is something that I learned. Let's see if maybe we'll make this black. Is that we have, when people are going to buy something, we have the cost, right? And this is how much it costs, and maybe the value is their friends like it. And the value isn't high enough to outweigh the cost. And so they'll say, I'm not interested. I need to think about it. It's not really for me, maybe later, because the value doesn't outweigh the cost. And so our job as business owners is to communicate in such a way that people see that the value outweighs the cost, right? So we might go over some scenarios, different uses, maybe some of the quality, and we start to, stack the value. And now what people look at is they're not looking at the cost, they're really looking at the value. And we know that we need to build value in our products, but most people really do it in the wrong way. And it really creates a lot of problems because they don't feel good about it. Like they know that it's not exactly right. And so they'll either say it but feel bad or not say it at all. It's not received really well. And so the results get down. They're like, I don't get it. Why am I not doing better? I believe in my product. I tell my story. I do all the things that people say. But if we are building value the wrong way, then it's not going to hit, right? I'm sure. I was just talking to one of my really good friends today about unsolicited advice and how people think it's helpful to just start giving out unsolicited advice when you say things. And like, why do people do that? And I was like, well, it's a communication skill issue. I think for first, we don't like to see people in pain. And second, we've never been taught how to handle these situations in a way that doesn't make people feel bad. Most of our parents are not great communicators. And so we just take their communication style and we just keep passing it on and we think that's what you're supposed to do. But there's actually a different way to build value, and that's what I want to share with you today. So I have really 3 big points on how to build value the right way. The first point is really has to do with our mindset. When we're explaining products, are we trying to prove our value or are we trying to provide value? There's a thin line there, right? But proving our value tends to be like boasting or trying to be like, this is why the product is so great. This is why the product is so great. This is why the product is so great. And you're trying to prove the value. And people can feel that. The other way is to provide value. And the only way we can provide value is if we focus on the other person's goals, wants, problems, or needs. And I remember this conversation that I had with one of my previous clients, Daniela, and we were talking and her computer just kept dinging and dinging and dinging and dinging over and over and over again. I could tell she was getting really stressed. And I said, hey, Danny, do you want me to just turn that off for you? Now, for context, I had worked with Daniela for about a year. This was just a catch-up call. We weren't in contract or anything. And she hit the top rank of her company while we were coaching. So like the $500,000 a year rank. So just for context, I turned off her thing real quick because I knew how to do that through the computer. And she took a deep breath, said, "This is the most valuable call I have ever had with you." And it blew my mind because it really, I wasn't trying to prove anything to her. I wasn't trying to tell her, yes, I was trying to get her to resign as a client, which she did. But I wasn't doing it in a way where I was trying to prove my value. I was providing value instead. And what that ended up doing is building so much trust and connection that I was able to, she knew I would help her with what she wanted as opposed to what I wanted. So number one is to provide value instead of prove value. Number two, we need to ask more questions. A lot of people will say, "Tasha, what do I tell this person?" And I say, that's the wrong question. It's not what we tell people, it's what we ask people. Here's a great question to know how you can provide value in someone's life. Ask a question like, when it comes to blank, what sorts of things are important to you? This is a good input question. And then a lot of times people don't even ask this. They don't know what's important to the other person. I remember apartment shopping 8 months pregnant and trying to find a bigger place for the baby that was coming. And they didn't even ask what was important to us when it came to an apartment. They were just like, "Here's our apartments, blah, 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 blah." Instead of just saying, when it comes to an apartment, what's important to you? And if they would have said that, they would have saved so much time and so much frustration as far as helping us to move forward. The third key to, or secret, I think we're doing secrets today, to building value the right way is to focus on scenarios instead of bullet points. So bullet points are facts, like this product does this and this and this and has this and this and this. Scenarios are, have you ever been in this situation? This is what you would use for that. Have you ever been in this situation? This is what you would use for that. Here's why this is important. Daniel Kahneman, a Nobel Prize researcher, has coined the phrases system one versus system two. So here's some sales psychology, or just psychology in general for you, but how we apply it to sales. System one, they're both decision-making systems. So system one processes things like pictures and stories and things like that. We naturally believe system one. There aren't really high defenses. We're not downing things that come in through system one. They're really easy to process. System two are facts, figures, data. System two takes a lot of mental energy to process, and we tend to doubt and want to poke holes in facts, bullet points, etc. So if we're communicating with people, why would we want to use communication strategies that make it harder for customers and increase doubt and then make them tired? That really makes no sense to me. So instead of listing a bunch of bullet points on a particular product, we would use a scenario instead. So I'm just going to use a really simple example of like lemon essential oil, just because it's something I'm familiar with, right? So if I were using bullet points, I would say something like, lemon is made in the fields of whatever country it is. It's good for cleansing, purifying, a boost to your day. It will enhance flavor and is good for cleaning and helping with digestive properties. Okay, that's like from the website. And you're like, okay. And you have to really think about, how does that pertain to my life? That's bullet points. And so it's really hard. And I don't know if you could feel yourself doubting a little bit, or just in general, kind of like, okay, this is boring. Hopefully you didn't turn off the whole thing when I said that. Now, on the other hand, we could use scenarios. And here's how we'd use scenarios. We look at, when do we use this particular product? In this example, lemon essential oil. Well, we use lemon essential oil. Have you ever been in a situation where you had like stuff in the back of your throat when you woke up? Most people will be like, yeah. Put a drop of this in your green tea, you'll be good to go. Have you ever had a kid write on something with Sharpie or put a sticker somewhere it's not supposed to be and you can't get it off, or maybe maple syrup stuck to the counter. We've all been there. Okay, great. This is what you'll use for that. And now we use scenarios and people are like, oh yeah, I could totally see myself using that. What we want to do is we want to create an image that people take in over system one, that they don't doubt. And they're like, I could see myself using this. And if we have 2 or 3 common scenarios for each product, and we say, have you ever? Earlier, you mentioned this is when you would use that. And we talk about when you use products as opposed to what products do. Customers are more likely to say, I can see myself using that. And if you walk through and they can say, I can see myself using that over and over and over and over again, the value is going to be built higher and higher and higher from the price. Now, you may be listening to this and you're like, Tasha, this is hard. And I'm like, yeah, it is hard. Here's why it's hard. We get so caught up in proving value, all of the amazing benefits and why it's so great, that we forget about being others-centered and providing value, which is kind of where we started at the beginning of this conversation. If we're going to provide value, we need to do the hard work instead of make the customer do the hard work. In my, I guess we'll call it origin story, I tell most people about the story of Catherine and my friend who invited me to the class, and she was making $50 a month for 2 years straight. And I fixed her sales conversation. So what did we fix? We fixed the way she built value. When she was presenting, she told me all the facts about her product line. And I remember sitting there just thinking, how will this help me? And I had to do, I like squint my eyes and really think, how will this help me? When will I use it? How will this help me? When will I use it? And this is because I'm a professional sales trainer, that I was thinking that way. If it was just anybody, they would probably just go, it would just, kind of go right over their head and they wouldn't see it. And so they just be like, I don't see how I would use this every day. Like, sounds like a great product. Have you ever had this happen? Sounds like a great product, but I'm just not sure it's for me. Sounds like a great product. Let me think about it. What are they thinking about? Will they use it? And we need to remove this objection from the conversation by switching from bullet points to scenarios, because then there won't even be a question of when are they going to use the thing. So just to do a quick recap, if you want to build value the right way, number one, focus on providing value instead of proving value. Number two, ask, when it comes to blank, what's most important to you? And number three, switch your bullet points out for scenarios so that it's easy for your customers to see themselves using the product. I really, really hope this has been helpful for you, and that it helps you to make more sales moving forward. We're here to help you with the communication skills that you need in order to build your business in a way that is authentic and effective and really fun for everyone involved. So I hope this helps, and have a great day.